We're traveling to the ballpark. Today we are at American Family Field, formerly known as Miller Park, home of the Milwaukee Brewers. Let's go check it out. The stadium is quite imposing as you approach it from the interstate. Brewers fans show up in mass and throw a pretty impressive tailgate prior to the game. They have music playing, grills going, and you see lots of game of cornhole, or as they call it, bags. One of the statues in the front of the stadium is of Hank Aaron, Hammer and Hank. The Brewers do a great job of honoring the rich baseball tradition in the Milwaukee area, including having parking lots named for famous players, as well as a team that used to be there, the Braves. The concourse on the main level is nice and wide to accommodate a large crowd. You don't feel very congested, and there's plenty of room to move around. There are plenty of food options, anything from hot dogs and brats to burgers. And of course, you're in Milwaukee, so there's plenty of beer with several bars throughout the concourse area. There were two things I was looking forward to seeing at the ballpark. The first of which is a statue of Bob Uecker that is sitting up in the rafters, the quote, "worst seats in the house." This pays homage to an old Miller Lite commercial that Bob starred in back in the 80s. And they do a really good job of bringing that and keeping that tradition alive and that humor. I'll tell you about what the other item is that I wanted to see coming up in just a minute. Speaking of Miller, you can see the old brew house from the top level of the stadium. And this is a view from the top level for where the statue is. It's a great seat. You can see a whole lot. As you can imagine, in the middle of America's Dairyland, you're going to get cheese curds as a favorite concession item. They were fantastic.
The catcher, number 40, Wilson.
Here's a great shot of Bernie's chalet. Bernie Brewer is the team's mascot, and when the Brewers hit a home run, he slides down the slide. Did you guess correctly? You have to be paying attention. And now the big attraction you want to see, the famous sausage race. There are great sight lines all throughout the park. This is from left center field, looking out from one of the restaurants in the outfield that you can see. Here's a better shot. Tables looking right over the field. So American Family Field, great venue. It's got probably the most unique, if not the most unique, retractable roof in all of sport, probably in the entire world, I would imagine. It's a clamshell, so it opens and closes. I believe we read that there are 3 panels that come in from one side and 2 panels from the other. Really cool design, really gorgeous stadium, really nice in my opinion. Like I mentioned, there were 2 things we were looking forward to. One was the Bob Uecker statue, going back to the old Miller Lite commercial from the 80s. And that is such a neat way of paying homage to the great Bob Uecker, their announcer. And from that level, the quote worst seat in the house, it's in section 422, behind home plate, about as high as you can get, and there are 2 large concrete support columns in your way too, so you have a little bit of obstructed view, but from up there, it really is a nice nice view of the stadium, even though they play on the worst seat in the house. Spoof, if you will. But we enjoyed it. We did stick around up there for a little while to get a view. Great seats. And of course, the other event we wanted to see was the sausage race. That was so much fun. I've been wanting to see that for years. And, I'm half Italian, so I was pulling for the Italian sausage, and Italian won. My son was pulling for the bratwurst, and I think the brat came in second or third. But we had a really good time. One of the other things that happened in the game was there was an inside the park home run hit by a Cubs player, and so that was cool. That was the first time I had seen an inside the park home run in person. So that was neat to see. We didn't stick around to the end of the game just because we needed to get back on the road. But the Brewers did wind up walking it off with a home run there at the end of the game, and we missed Bernie sliding down his slide, so we hate that. But I grew up I've always loved the Milwaukee Brewers glove and ball logo, so I had to buy myself a hat. So I got a hat, and they didn't have a giveaway that day, but what we did get, of course, was a pennant flag. We always get a pennant flag, and we actually picked up, and I'm going to grab these off camera real quick. American Family Insurance was actually giving away, so I guess there was a giveaway, Brewers sunglasses. There's the American Family Insurance logo with the Brewers on the other side. So I'll put these on and finish out the video in style. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed it at least half as much as we enjoyed the game. And if you did like what you see, check out our other videos. We'll have more coming as well. But we appreciate you tagging along. If you like our content, go ahead and hit that like button and the subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you know when we do put more content out there. Thanks again for tagging along, and we hope you get to see you again soon.